Good evening, everybody. David Paul here in the KHOU 11 Weather Center. It is Tuesday evening. It is 8 o'clock. It is time for our daily tropical update. Colorado State University is to remind you their forecast outlook for the season was for 16 named storms. We're halfway there. We've had a total of 8 named storms. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, G. We've only had 7 storms. We're about to have 8. So we're almost halfway there. We're 7 storms into the season. We've had 2 hurricanes and we've had 2 major hurricanes. Both those that developed into hurricanes became major hurricanes. So they were forecasting 3 major hurricanes. We're already to 2. We are a little bit below normal on the accumulated cyclone energy index. We're about 8% behind from where we ought to be this time of the year. So we're close now to statistically a normal season. Again, here are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names so far that we've checked off the list. Andrea, Barry, Chantal, Dexter, all weak minimal tropical storms. Fernand was a minimal tropical storm, and then we've had 2 huge hurricanes. Aaron went to Cat 5, and Gabrielle, who's still out there, topped out at Cat 4, now down to Cat 3, heading into the open North Atlantic. No threat to anybody, but that's where we stand as far as the number of names on the list. Oh, and just real quickly, by the way, if we're going to get to 16 named storms, that does take us all the way out to Pablo, so we still have more than half the names to go. Sea surface temperatures are plenty warm across the entire basin. 86 in the Gulf, 88 Western Carib. This is where most of the cyclone energy is currently sitting right now as far as the deep, warm water, but there's nothing here to develop at the moment. 87 is the sea surface temperature in the East Carib. Plenty of warm water, mid-80s in the main development region. Our development region over the next several days will actually end up being right in here where sea surface temperatures are 85. Again, anything 80 or above, you've checked the box for what you need to get tropical storms going. Here's the Atlantic Basin. We have 1, 2, 3 active tropical waves right now. It's this one, wave 1, and this one, wave 2, that have the potential high chance, we think, of developing a couple of storms over the next few days. We'll look at that. Nothing in the Carib, nothing in the Gulf. There's Gabrielle, who is now in the process of slowly weakening. But what a hurricane. This one did go to Cat 4 yesterday and spent most of today as a Category 4. Now it's down to Cat 3. Max winds sustained at 125 miles an hour, moving east-northeast at 21 miles an hour. So it's now accelerating to the northeast. It's caught up in the upper level winds, and this one is now racing off into the North Atlantic. But the eye kind of fizzled for a little bit and now has reopened again, so still has very good organization, even for a storm moving northeast at 21 miles an hour. Pressure's coming up, though. It's at 953 millibars. We'll take a look at the forecast track on that one in just a minute. Wave 1 and wave 2 of the 3 are the ones that have our attention. This one is the most likely to develop over the next day or two. At least it was. This was at 90%. This wave here, closer to the islands, they've now raised this to a 70% chance for development. But I think this one may be the one that goes first. And you can see on the updated tropical outlook, there's wave number 2 sitting here, 90% chance for development. We think what there is it's going to move northwest. This is wave 1. And once it gets here, north of Hispaniola, near the Bahamas, maybe north of the Bahamas, this will be where wave number 1 has a chance of developing. Notice right now they don't expect any of these to get into the Carib or the Gulf. So again, nothing knocking on our door in Houston at the moment. Here's a quick look at Gabrielle. Forecast track has it racing northeast down to a 50-mile-an-hour tropical storm. May have lost its tropical characteristics by the time we get to Saturday. But look, it's going to be Spain and Portugal that have to deal with some wind and rain out of the remnants of Gabrielle. And then these two, so they're both invest, so we're running spaghetti plots on them. Here, wave 1, in general, develops here and turns north. Wave 2 develops here and goes north. So at the moment, spaghettis in general suggest that these are storms for the Atlantic and not for the East Coast or for we here in the Gulf, which is good for we here in Houston. For the moment, we stay quiet. I thought I'd show you the modeling on this. Now remember, this is This is going to get a little messy because we've got two developing systems. This is the Euro and the American model running simultaneously. So you can see both outcomes at the same time. And if you look carefully, you can see how you've got red and black stacked on each other. So the American and the Euro, we've got Gabrielle. That's Gabrielle, east of Bermuda. When I put it in motion, you'll watch that one race to the east. And then what you're also going to see will be two different circles try to form down here. One of the models will be the Euro, one will be the American, as they attempt to form the next storm. So here we go. Put it in motion. Gabrielle heads east, and then watch here. 1, 2. So it's not forecasting two storms. It's the European model forecasting a storm developing here, and the American model suggesting that that same storm is going to actually develop right there. So they don't match perfectly, but they rhyme. Something's probably going to develop here as we head into the end of the week. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, by Friday it would make sense that we'd have a tropical storm beginning to brew down here at a minimum. That's wave number 2. Remember we had wave number 1? So even at this point Friday, you can see how the isobars here on the GFS are beginning to close off. And in fact, here's a closed isobar on the Euro. So I'm going to put this further into motion, and what you're going to see is wave number 2, the storm that develops there. What there is of this is going to go north. Both model solutions will go north. And then watch how we get two individual model solutions on this one. So here we go. And what a mess. But this would be wave number 2 where the Euro thinks it is, wave number 2 where the American model thinks it is, and then wave number 1, you see the black isobars, that's where the Euro thinks wave number 1 will be developed by Monday of next week, and that's where the American model thinks wave number 1 will be developed. So this is going to be interesting. We may end up with two individual storms less than 1,000 miles apart from each other as we head into early next week. That is possible. I don't think that's definitely possible. Those model runs have been fairly consistent over the last several runs. If you'll bear with me just a second, there was a model run I wanted to show you that has a little bit better depiction of what we think may happen. And if you'll remember, at times you'll get, when two hurricanes or two tropical systems come together, sometimes they'll kind of interact with each other, called the Fujiwara effect. And the models are not depicting that at the moment, but I have to tell you, if we're going to get two storms close to each other like that, it's not out of the question that we could see them interact together. So I'm gonna bring this up. Now bear with me. I haven't edited this, but this is one of the models that we were working with just in the weather office to watch this. So this is today, and again, here is wave number 2, wave number 1. So watch how these. I'm going to step through this really slowly. It's today. We go into Wednesday. We'll go into Thursday. Go into Friday, and by Friday you've got a pretty good forming storm here. Wave number 2, wave number 1, still a bit of a mess, but it's beginning to gain some identity. And then we go forward some more, and watch this. Yeah, so that would give us, by Monday, one storm, tropical storm or hurricane here, another tropical storm or hurricane here. You know, the distance between the two, it's 600 miles, 700 miles. It's not too terribly far apart. So it will be very interesting to watch how this evolves as we head through the weekend and into next week to see if these two individual storms do actually form and if they end up close enough together to interact with each other and end up tumbling around each other as we head into the middle of the week as they head off into the open Atlantic. See if we end up getting that Fujiwara effect. That's the model run going into next Tuesday with two individual storms off the East Coast. Fascinating. Computer storms for now. We'll see if that actually develops. So here in Houston, we have changing weather coming. We've got a front coming in. It is a cold front. It's not going to make it colder, but it's going to make it more comfortable. So tomorrow, the front arrives, which means we're still hot tomorrow, but we've got a 70% chance for rain and thunder in the afternoon and evening as the front is in the process of moving through. Then I think Thursday is a transition day where humidity will drop during the day. Highs in the upper 80s on Thursday, and then notice the lows, 65, 66, 66, 65, 68, and highs near 90 Friday through the weekend. That is very nice. Early, little taste of fall weather for Houston. Not sweater weather, but mornings and evenings are going to be nice, and that lower humidity lasts even into the middle of next week, so that may stick around for a while. Got updated computer models on our next live broadcast. That's at KHOU 11 News at 10 on the TV side. We'll see you then for our next live broadcast.